From Neural Newscast, this is Stereo Current, sound, culture, and the systems that shape them.
Stereo.
The needle drops, the static clears, and the downtown pulse begins. I am Sloane Rivera.
And I'm Julian Vance. You're tuned in to Stereo Current, your daily briefing on the sounds and subcultures that matter. It is July 19th, 2026, and the release schedule is officially boiling over.
It really is. We are starting today with the ultimate siren of the zeitgeist. Lana Del Rey has finally broken her silence, and in true Del Rey fashion, it is an entire ecosystem of news. Julian, she has finished 2 interconnected albums.
2. Not just a follow-up to Ocean Boulevard, but a dual record statement called Stove and Spyda. According to a report from Spin, she has been writing these through 4 years of profound personal change. It is that classic Lana vulnerability, but it feels like she is moving into a new, more resilient phase.
I love her description of the split. She says Stove is lovely and intact. A classic album with tracks like Stars Fell on Alabama and Henry Come On that fans have caught live. But Spyda is where the commentary begins. She calls it a sound of starting completely fresh.
She mentioned she needs about a month to finish the production before sending it to vinyl. It feels like she is finally letting herself go downstream rather than fighting the current. It is poetic, Sloane, but it is also very efficient. She is giving the fans 2 distinct emotional landscapes to live in.
Speaking of landscapes, we have to talk about the mid-year audit. BrooklynVegan just dropped their list of the 50 favorite albums of 2026 so far. It is the perfect time to check the pulse of the industry. Julian, looking at that list, the veteran acts are showing some serious muscle this year.
No kidding. You have American football with LP4, their first in 7 years. It is darker and more wounded. Mike Kinsella doing what he does best, turning that unfiltered sadness into something majestic. But then you look at the other side of the list and Converge is dropping 2 albums this year. That is just showing off.
It's high-functioning chaos. I found the inclusion of Lip Critic's Theft World particularly sharp. It's that industrial punk hip-hop blend that feels like the sonic equivalent of a fever dream in a Lower East Side basement. And then you have Underscores with You, showing that hyperpop can actually mature into something blissful and innovative without losing its edge.
The list is alphabetical, which is a nice touch. No hierarchy, just a massive curation of what's working. From the lo-fi country of MJ Lenderman and Thomas Dahlbaum to the cinematic metal of Worm's Necropalace. It's a diverse year, Sloane. There was no single sound of 2026, just a lot of very good ones.
Which brings us to a specific sound coming out of Louisiana. If you haven't tuned into MALØNE yet, you are missing the evolution of Southern fusion. He is prepping his new EP, FREQ, for an August 14th release, and it is a deep dive into music for the sad.
The 504 scene is always fertile ground, but MALØNE is doing something distinct. He is blending Delta blues storytelling with smoky R&B and the rhythmic bite of rap. He started this aesthetic with his debut NERGY last year, and FREQ looks like it is going to sharpen those edges. Everything he does is in stark black and white, aesthetic as identity.
It is very noir. I am drawn to that emotional clarity. He says he thinks about the message before the words, which is why tracks like Roll Into My Grave feel so intentional. It is roots music for a generation that feels adrift. It is soulful, but it has that gritty southern undercurrent that prevents it from being too polished.
And while we are talking about gritty, let's bring it back to Brooklyn. Slugwater just released their debut album Slug Sounds today. They are being hailed as an underground supergroup. You have Gayla Brooks from Fat Heaven and members from Death Vacation. It is that classic NYC punk spirit, but they are pulling in shoegaze and emo influences.
It is remarkably heavy, but melodic. The track Easy Livin' captures that post-hardcore energy. Think Turnstile, but with a darker, more atmospheric tilt. They have been building this for 2 years, and Slug Sounds is the culmination of all those early singles. It is a very high-energy way to start your Sunday, Julian.
Switching gears to the logistics of the scene, because the music cannot happen if the artists cannot get here. Freya Fox is relaunching her agency Clout Forge PR. She is a DJ and producer herself, but she is focusing on a very specific niche: immigration PR for international artists trying to get O1 and EB1A visas.
It is such a clever angle. She realized that so many talented artists, especially from Japan and the Asia-Pacific region, have the talent but lack the English language major media record that American immigration officers look for. She is bridging that gap, turning talent into a documented, verifiable record.
She's even helping them with answer engine optimization, so they actually show up in AI searches for bookers and journalists. And it's the most modern version of a press agent I have ever seen. Her own new track, My Rave Bay, is a Japanese rap-infused Eurodance revival. She is really living the crossover, Sloane.
It is essential work. It makes the downtown scene global, which is what we always want. Now, before we sign off, we have to look at the vinyl stacks. Urge Overkill's Exit the Dragon is getting a 30th anniversary reissue via Porterhouse Records.
I have the pink and purple double vinyl set in my hands right now, and the remaster is beautiful. This was the record that was supposed to make them superstars after Pulp Fiction, but it originally limped out of the gate in 1995. Listening now, tracks like The Break and Need Some Air feel way ahead of their time. It is that dapper, glammed-out punk that Chicago did so well.
There is a haunting honesty in those lyrics, too. View of the Rain hits differently when you know the band was fracturing under the stress and drug issues at the time. It is a record that should have been a rise, not a fall. Finally seeing it on a clean, powerful vinyl pressing feels like a 30-year-old wrong being righted, Julian.
Absolutely. It is a heavy week for records that reveal our internal battles. From Lana's Spyda to Rhodey Green's cinematic Love is Agony, the theme seems to be making peace with the unresolved. That is a wrap for our Sunday Roundup.
All right, it is time to cut through the noise. We have narrowed down our 10 essential listens for your week.
Starting things off, we have Lana Del Rey with A&W. It is that sprawling, cinematic, confessional energy she is mastering lately, and it is a must-hear as we wait for her new projects.
Next is a cornerstone of the BrooklynVegan mid-year audit. Never Meant by American Football remains the definitive blueprint for math rock-influenced indie.
Staying in that gritty lane, we have Slugwater with Easy Livin' from their debut record. It perfectly captures that raw Brooklyn post-hardcore energy.
For something more glitchy and DIY, check out Underscores and the track Locals. It is a standout selection showcasing how the indie pop landscape is shifting.
We're also revisiting a cult classic this week. Urge Overkill's The Break is back in the spotlight as Exit the Dragon gets a 30th anniversary vinyl treatment.
Taking it international, Toronto's DIY spirit is alive in It Gets Worse by Doghouse Rose. It is a high-energy punk anthem that really anchors our focus this week.
I am really excited about this next one. MALØNE with FREQ. It is an innovative fusion of Southern Delta blues and rap that totally justifies the current hype.
Then we have 2 pristine indie pop tracks. First is St. Clair with Something to Be Said, followed by the shimmering textures of Gold by St. Jove. To round out the list, we have to go heavy. We're revisiting the unrelenting intensity of Concubine by Converge, another essential pick from the half-year audit. And with that stack on your queue, the scene is shifting, and we're here to map the coordinates. Find more curation at stereocurrent.neuralnewscast.com. I'm Sloane Rivera.
And I'm Julian Vance. This has been Stereo Current. Join us again tomorrow as we dig deeper into the noise. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.
This has been Stereo Current on Neural Newscast. Sound, culture, and the systems that shape them.